How I made 3.7K in 14 days on a low ticket offer as a shadow operator. For those of you who don't already know, my name is Gabriel Dinu and I just recently got into the space of shadow operating. And yeah, this was my first ever creator, my first ever launch. We did 3.7K in 14 days. He is in a wellness niche. I was able to get him 3.7K in 14 days for a creator with no ads, no cold traffic. What I am is a shadow operator, meaning I build and launch digital products for creators on their audience. And I'm going to show you exactly, literally step by step, everything I did. So grab a notepad and you might get some sauce out of this. In this video, I'm going to be completely transparent about everything that happened in this launch, and yeah, stay tuned. Okay, so there's really 5 steps that come into play when monetizing a creator's audience. First one is market research. It's basically just posting on Instagram stories and kind of getting the hang of what the creator's audience actually wants from him. So it's basically a 14-day Instagram story sequence that goes across all 14 days. It's a pure warm-up, zero pitch the first days, just naming the problem the audience already feels and you might think it feels, which is stiffness, feeling older than you are, maybe tried everything. And the thing is, most launches actually open up with a sales pitch. Ours opened with a market research story and zero mention of a product throughout all of these days. And some of these stories were actually made to kind of see what the audience actually wants from my specific creator, and we can see most of them just wanted longer form videos from him. Now let's get into how we're actually able to see and find what their specific pain points in his audience were. And we were just blasting out stories, just asking people what they actually needed from him, and what the problems have. Like some of them had lower back problems, hip pain, lower back again, back, lower back. And we just wanted to find out what the most common response was, which was basically lower back, shoulders sometimes, neck and back, back. Everybody had a problem in their back. This is just people sharing their pain points. Now the next step was to get them onto a WhatsApp group, which I'm going to be talking about in a minute. But how we actually did that was on day 4, after kind of finding out everything we needed from the market research, since his niche was so big. He didn't really have like a niche down audience, so we needed to find exactly what they needed from him. And we basically fired up ManyChat on Reels and Stories, and we basically just framed it as for daily tips, DM me stiff, and then they would get invited to a WhatsApp group. And that leads us to stage 2, which is the nurturing stage. Here in this WhatsApp group, we did even more market research because we wanted to know even more about the people that actually was in his audience and the people that were the most engaged with everything that he did. So basically, this was days 4 to 10 of just nurturing and market research. This was 787 group members at that time. We had, I think, 850 in the peak, but this was made after the offer was already pitched. So that's why probably a lot of them just left. But yeah, this, if you can just look and see the amount of market research you had to do and just figuring out what people actually want and then nurturing them through it, like through videos and then market research at the same time. So here's why having a WhatsApp group in 2026 where every creator in the niche is competing for attention on Instagram is meta. Here's why. More intimate environment. No algorithm fighting for your message because it lands every time. Feels like a text from a friend, not an ad in a feed. No other creators in the room because on Instagram they're just scrolling past 10 competitors at a time. Here's just you. People actually open it, because WhatsApp read rates crush email and IG DMs. 20% open rate on email. On Instagram, the algorithm decides. And on WhatsApp, 98% open rate, which is actually crazy. So on to the next one, we have real conversation and not a broadcast. They can reply and you can reply back. And a private space feels safer. People open up way more than they would in public comments. And basically, you're in their pocket, not competing for 2 seconds of thumb scroll attention. And the best thing is it compounds. Every day builds the relationship. A feed post disappears in about an hour, maybe even less. So what we did inside WhatsApp was content went out daily, surfacing the audience's real pain points, the specific frustrations and stuck points that this niche's audience already feels, but still not pitched yet. And a fresh reason why they're stuck and proof that it's not their fault. Here, trust, awareness, and attention grow here. one message at a time. And basically, this is the 5 stages of awareness chart: the unaware, problem aware, solution aware, product aware, and purchase aware. If you want to know more about this, you can check out my latest video where I talked about the whole pilot launch. So everything that I showed in this video, I implemented in this launch right now. But I still did a little bit more because there's a little bit of more nuance to it. But yeah, this is a huge video if you want to just check out the basics and how I was able to do this as well. Anyway, let's go back. Basically, in other words, we had 10 days with zero pitch, just making people feel understood. That's basically the whole game before you even ask for the sale. So the people that already bought on the offer. And this leads us to the third stage, the product/offer stage. And keep in mind, since it was a pilot launch, this product was actually made to see if there's actually demand within the audience. It wasn't made for the biggest and largest conversions. It was something more on the low key side, so that we can actually just test if the audience wants this from him. So yeah, let me talk about the offer a little bit more. So what we did was a £97 3-week mobility program, and it was low ticket for a reason. It was low friction, live group coaching, three weeks, 2 times a week, and it covers mobility, movement, and mind body fundamentals, all of that good stuff. And basically the promise was get rid of your stiffness in 3 weeks, and after the session you're able to become independent in your moving. They also told that they don't need any prior experience or skills. They have direct access to my client, which is the creator itself, and it was also a live format, not pre-recorded, so people actually show up and finish it. And this was basically to get testimonials. Since my client didn't have any testimonials, this was the easiest way to get them. And we didn't try to charge premium prices on launch one, since low ticket, live, and group based was basically really easy to say yes to, and we wanted the max amount of people to give testimonials and good testimonials. So we came up with this offer which did pretty well, and that brings us to the fourth stage, which is the launch stage. And we decided to go with a webinar. And how we were able to get the people into the webinar was through a lead magnet, which is a free PDF. And we framed it as if they stay till the end, that's when they get it. So they would have no choice but to watch the whole webinar throughout. And we were able to funnel people through WhatsApp and Instagram into the webinar. And the reason why we did the webinar in the first place is because this is where most conversions actually happen. And what we did was just frame it as a free live session, because live and in person builds the most trust of anything in the funnel. So 3 things happen in order: name the audience's pain points so they feel understood, make the promise of what's possible, then paint the transformation from where they are now to where they want to be. So in our case was from stiff to mobile. Once that trust peaks, the offer gets pitched right there on the webinar, saying that there are only a limited amount of spots left for scarcity reasons. So we basically had pain, promise, transformation, then the pitch. In other words, we named the pain, we made the promise, we showed the path from where they are to where they want to be. And then while the people were still like nodding along, just being interested in the whole aspect of how they're going to be able to go from stiff to not stiff, we pitched the offer. So basically get people from A to B in X amount of time. If you frame it that way, there's no chance you're not going to get any conversions from your webinar. This was day 1 out of 4 of cart being open. So basically day 10 of the whole operation. We got a good amount of conversions from the webinar, but we didn't just stop there. That would be kind of silly to just stop on the webinar and not try to get more people, since this was only day 1 out of 4 of the cart being open. So what we did, we went 3 ways: the email route, the Instagram route, and the WhatsApp route. I'm going to be showing you first the email route. So basically what we did, we just sent our email to all of the people that attended the webinar but didn't actually buy into the offer. And it was actually a really personalized video of my client that basically just recorded an evergreen video, and we made him say, hey, name, the specific name like John, Ashley, Michael, in a full video. And we edited out the specific names and we edited them together with the evergreen video, and you send them to each specific person so that we can get the max amount of conversions from it. And if they watch the video throughout, they will know that the next step would be to click here, and that will send them to the landing page with a VSL. So basically not everyone shows up to the live. The VSL's one job is to sell directly to the people who missed the webinar, and also sell to the people that didn't even know the webinar was happening. So a few minutes long, built on the direct response structure, closes on the same core idea and the same offer from the webinar. So it feels like one continuous story and not a separate pitch. But the people who didn't join the webinar, they still had all of the context that they needed to be able to buy the product. And basically what is happening, the landing page goes live with a VSL front and center plus a proof section, which is short clips of real people getting real results, like real actual clients. And this page wasn't just a buy button, it had a proof stacked right into it. Here you can see that his actual clients are insane. We have Anne at age 87 being able to do something like this. So this was a massive incentive for people to actually buy into the offer. The Instagram route was just link in bio and just marketing that through Reels and Insta Stories, and it also sends them to the landing page. The WhatsApp route was we put out a poll on the WhatsApp just to see why people weren't buying into the offer, just to kind of get an idea of if there's money involved, like if it was boring, if they just didn't know where to start and wanted more information. And this was basically our warmest leads. And what we did was follow up via DMs. We broke their objections with an evergreen video, which we edited to say the name of the starter. The same thing we did with the email, we did with the WhatsApp group. And this had the second highest conversion since they were really warm leads. So let me show you exactly what happened. So messages sent based on the exact objection each person picked in the poll, whatever the objection was for this audience, which is price, time, confidence, doubt, whatever, everyone gets the answer to the specific hesitation, not a generic pitch. So basically, in other words, we didn't send the same message to everyone. We asked what was stopping people, then answered the same thing by batches of people. So this was kind of an example. Hey, I wanted to reach out personally since I know you had a few doubts about the program. I'd love to clear those up for you. Do let me know what's on your mind. I'm happy to answer. And then send the evergreen video with the hey name of the specific person, which was John, I think. He just said, hey, I haven't had the chance to look at the program yet. Let me go through and reach out to you/team. And we were able to close this guy, like we had good conversions from this. And honestly, I haven't seen anyone in this space before do this type of stuff by telling the creators to say their names and then say the type of objections that they have. I just wanted to maximize the amount of conversions from this low-key launch so that we were able to get as many testimonials as possible at the end of the launch. So yeah, if you want to go ahead and copy this strategy, it is kind of tough to pull off, but it does help a lot. And which leads us now to the fifth stage, which is the urgency stage. It's basically the last day of the car being open. And what we did here was we didn't beg people to buy. We just reminded people that the door was closing and used scarcity by saying there are only a few limited amount of spots left, and let that speak for itself. Because when people see that there are only a few limited amount of spots left, they would want to be in that spot. It's just human psychology. They would want to be in that one spot, that like 4 spots left, and then went to 3 spots left, and we even have a timer. That amount of FOMO is gonna get people to buy, and we had a really good amount of conversions from this urgency phase right here alone, and we didn't even have to do much with it. And since this was a low ticket offer, we didn't really need the back-end system as much, and we basically just did everything on the front end. Had a little bit of a back end with the emails, with the WhatsApp, with the just trying to get people nurtured and more aware of this offer in the first place. But for the next launches to come, which are going to be higher ticket, I'm definitely going to be setting up a backend system to those, and I'm going to be making videos about how I did that and how you're able to do that as well. So stay tuned for that. Now, if you're a coach, a creator, or just an influencer with a decent amount of following, and you want to launch like this, and even more than 3.7K, since this was my first launch and I'm also learning, links is in the description of my Instagram. Hit me up there and we'll get you set up and ready to go. So follow me, DM me, and yeah, this was how I was able to hit 3.7K in 14 days on a low ticket offer as a shadow operator. I'll catch you guys later.